Alright, turn around, boys. Here comes. The hen out there. Oh yeah. Just go back over to the other one. Oh, fair trial. Class.
You see the horse, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
About to go.
Yeah.
They should be fair trial, do you think?
Okay, at long last, Daniel, I get to sit in front of you and have a conversation. And all I can say is thanks so much for the hospitality for myself, Declan, and Mohammed. And your boardroom is everything I expected and more. So thank you so much. Obviously, I'd love to capture some insights for the members of our club. So I'm going to start off with a very easy question. How's your season gone this season to date in terms of the goals you've set? So quality or volume or exhibiting plans even?
I started late. I had some babies with the new rings in September when the new rings just came, but I stopped them breeding and just restarted breeding, I think from ring number 50 or something. This is from the new breeding circle that I started in December. I bred over 500 so far. I'm very pleased with the result. I don't want to make my birds bigger anymore. I rather want to make them smaller. I want the birds to be able to fly and to able to have normal behaviors, be active. I want the birds with clear eyes, and that's only possible if you reduce the size and the feather length. That's what many people don't understand or cannot understand, but that's my goal. I want the birds to be healthier and fitter and more vigor again than they used to be
Nice.
some years ago.
And can you see a measured difference, let's say, between last season and this season?
I have more birds that fly perfectly, and I want hens that lay 6, 7, 8 eggs and not only 2, 3 eggs. And again, that's only possible if you reduce size, and I never put two big birds together. I always put two average birds or a big bird with a smaller bird to do it. And the goal was to breed a lot of Lutinos. I didn't do too well. A lot of dark factors. I did well. And dilutes was okay, but not great. Lace wings not great. These are always a little bit difficult varieties. Recessives, I did very well again. I think the recesses are probably my most fertile line.
Okay.
They breed easily, and lacewings and dilutes, I don't know. But I'm not the only one who's struggling with them.
And struggling from the point of view of number or quality.
Number, relative, quality is top.
Okay.
But you put a dilute cock with a split dilute hen, and they have 6 fertile eggs, and then 2 die dead in shell, and 4 hatching. And in theory, 2 or 3 should be dilutes, but in reality, 2 or 3 are split.
Yeah.
And 1 is dilute, and the same with lacewing.
Yeah.
So I think there's a kind of lethal factor, or I don't know, but it's always hard to get numbers in those varieties. But that's the challenge.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Okay. And then just switching it to exhibiting plans, show plans this year. How many shows do you typically show at, or have you got any different plans this year to show?
Well, I make the local show here in Switzerland with the babies and youngsters. That will be next week. I thought you can come with me, but it's they changed the date, or maybe I wrote it down the wrong way. It's next week, and then I want to make the WBO show. It's this year in Colmar, France. That's 2.5 hours away from here. That's possible, and for me, the most important show is always the European show, end of August in Karlsruhe. That's still the place to go for.
Have the numbers increased or decreased at Karlsruhe?
The last few years it was going down, down, down.
Right.
But now they have a new management, and they realize that they have to change a lot of things. And I hope that people will appreciate the changing. And mid-September, there's from our club, the CEVA, the normal annual show with youngsters, adults, it's not so interesting, but I should go there as well.
And they're all open shows then, like the Colmar show, for example, is a French open show?
What means open?
As in anybody can exhibit at it. It's not a club restricted.
As far as I know, they're both international show.
Okay.
You need to organize the traces to make it possible to go with your birds for 2 days to another country and come back.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to have an own traces number, and many people don't have it and don't know to do it. And I think that's a big handicap.
Right.
But I have it, and of course I will do that.
What will your show team size typically be?
Too many, 20 to 30 birds. I should rather bring 6, 7, 8 birds in perfect condition instead of 25 that are good birds but not perfect.
Yeah.
I really should more focus on just bringing a few birds, but I love breeding, but showing and preparation I don't really like. It's part of the
hard work.
Yeah, and I don't like the birds to be screaming and stress them, and I like to put them in a box and see them growing and looking after the kids. I love that, but exhibiting, it's part of the game. It must be, and it's important. And I think it's very important to have shows where people meet each other, and if they're a good judge, he can say that's not good, that's too far, that's not enough. And everything that goes on social media, and you can go very close to a hay, and then you think, wow, what a bird, but you don't see anything else from the bird. No backline, no the position of the wings, the length of the feathers, is there a cyst, is the bird feather complete, that's things you cannot see, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
That's why there should be shows.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Obviously we've had first-hand experience helping you in the bird room, feeding our birds, which
You were the best. I tell us. The 3 guys from Ireland were the best bird helpers I ever had in the last 45 years. No joke. They did a great job.
and it was a brilliant experience, particularly for Declan, who's your number 1 fan. But
you can come back anytime to do the work again.
But just getting into the detail, like your seed composition, we were looking at what's given it's obviously 75% of the budgie's diet. What's in your seed mixture?
Oh, I don't know the English names. I even don't know in German as everything, but I think in the new mixture, the Daily Nature 74 exclusive, I think there's 12 different seeds.
Right.
From certain seed, it shows just 1, 2, 3%, not a lot. But the birds have the choice, and Daily Nature gave me the chance to try, and for more than a year I was trying, and the goal was to have a mixture that in the evening there's the rest, but nothing that they eat everything.
Yeah,
that you just,
no waste.
no waste, and so the mixtures that I'm having now is normally also on the breeding boxes. I don't give too much too much seed. So the goal is always that after 1 or 2 days, 2 days when they have no babies, but 1 day when they have babies, just to throw it away.
Yeah.
And that they really eat everything. Before the mixtures I was using, there was always a lot of seed that they don't eat or that it was too much. And I think it's important that the bird have a choice.
Yeah.
And we also don't like to eat everyday potatoes or everyday cauliflower. It's good if you have this and this and this, and you can choose what you want.
Yeah, I know. I was impressed. Declan actually brought me a bag of your new seed mixture up. He showed me pictures of it. There's a lot of Japanese millet in it, which is great.
I think 18, 90, 20%.
Yeah, which is good. Really good, particularly for youngsters. But we'll let you know how we get on with that one too. We looked at your saw food. Did you make any tweaks? Like we've seen videos of you making saw food and what's gone into it, but have you made any slight tweaks this year?
Changings?
Yeah.
No.
What's working is
natural stuff, herbs, a lot of herbs, and I don't add any vitamins or all those stuff. I think that's, if you give fresh organic grown vegetables and fruits, there's so much good stuff inside, and there's no need to add anything artificially.
Yeah.
I think even I still have enough birds, especially hens, that can become quite aggressive. But that birds destroy eggs or attack little babies, things like this, I have almost nothing anymore since I stopped feeding any vitamins or any kind of booster for breeding and stuff like this. I think by giving this, you make 1 step forwards, but also 2 backwards, because for many birds, it seems to be too much.
Yeah.
Become over-excited, over-aggressive.
Yeah.
And you don't want this.
You see carnage in the nest. Yeah, when there's too much protein. Yeah, I agree. You're a big fan of the French red millet from Guillaume.
Yes. Hello, Guillaume.
And I've seen the pictures. We've actually ordered a pallet for some of the club members. What have you found with that? I know the birds lap it up, but do you think they absorb the protein from it because it's an organic product, or what's the secret in the millet spray?
Well, this millet is grown up without glyphosate and more or less organic, and I think the birds also like it because it's on a, how do you say,
In a spray.
on a spray. And I also already give it in the nest box, so the small babies can see, okay, the mother and the father are eating from this, so I guess they try. And my babies, when they come out, 80-90% of the babies, when they see a millet, they go there and start eating. So they know that it's something good. And I think that's a very dangerous part of life after they come out of the nest box. Some parents, they continue to feed, and some stop. And if the parents stop, like with this this super opaline dark green cock, you're in trouble. I need to check it afterwards. It was not fed yet. And with millet, especially in the baby flight in the kindergarten, they eat lots of millet. And I think in the books it's written if you use too much millet, the birds became fat. But I think that's complete nonsense. It's not a heavy seed. It's a very light seed.
Yeah. Okay. I can't wait to try that too. The other thing we notice as well, and from other coverage or other videos I've seen, you do a lot of water changes. And obviously that contributes to the bird's health, but does it contribute to their appetite too, do you think? The more they drink, the more they eat? Or
Oh, well, that's not, I mean, I have drinkers for not rabbits.
the ball drinker?
Yeah, exactly. That's not dangerous, but the birds in the Schalen, in the water shawl, how do you say, water
dish?
water dish?
Yeah.
They like to take a bath. All the birds like taking a bath, and especially in summer times, but also sometimes in winter times. And the budgies, I don't know why, but they like to shit in it. And if all the birds are healthy, it's not a problem. But in summertime, when it's 35 degrees, and they shit into the water and you don't change it, there's one single bird ill, we're in big trouble. And so when I'm around, I change it every few hours.
I use banana drinkers, and I've noticed that if a bird shits in the banana drinker, the birds know, and all the other drinkers will be low, but the one with the shit will be full.
Yes.
So they know from first taste there's something wrong here.
100% agree.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's something I know that many people just change the water every second day, and it's 100% very, very, very useful or necessarily to change the drinkers every day. Not to change the drinkers, to change the water inside.
Yeah.
And I think that's a major fault. Sometimes I see starts where the drinkers are green inside, and I hope that
You're asking for trouble.
yeah, that means in nature they also drink from dirty lakes or but that's nonsense. It had nothing to do with nature.
Yeah.
It's when you have the green stuff inside, it can be dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. One thing that stood out is your place is impeccably clean. The perches super clean, and obviously all the surrounds, the cages, the walls. There's obviously a lot of work keeping it clean. Is there any particular detergents or methods you use to keep your perches clean? What's the routine? How often do you do it? What detergent do you use?
Well, I change them about every week when they're dirty, but some they just stay clean and then you can leave it for a long time.
Okay.
And often many of the perches, they look clean, but I just put them the other way around. So I what's below, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's important that where the birds are sitting, that needs to be clean. If you have birds with eye infections, it's often somehow connected with dirty perches. So if I change it, I can save one round.
It's a good idea, actually. Yeah. Do you sand them down or do you just scrub them?
No, I put them into water to make it the dirt getting wet and easy to clean, and then they manually cleaned, and afterwards I put them into the we have an industrial dishwasher.
Yeah, seen it.
There it's 70 degrees, and then that should kill any kind of bacteria.
Right.
I make it twice, about 10 minutes to make it really, really clean.
And the perches in the flight, the perches against the wall, would say you get in there and you just scrub them down.
Well, most of them I can take out.
Right.
And again, they need water to get the dirt easy to clean.
Yeah.
And then you just can clean it. But the stuff that is fixed need to be clean in the flight.
Okay. Pre-breeding season, diet-wise, do you increase protein? Or do you make any tweaks to your diet?
Protein, I don't know much about protein. My younger daughter Neve, she's always now talking about protein, and she buys high protein yogurt and high protein choco drinks, and I think it's a hype on social media about this protein stuff. I don't think the way I feed, I need to add any extra protein.
So pretty much the diet you were feeding while we were in the room is the diet throughout the year.
Yes, I don't. Well, in summer times, I stop giving salted oats because it's a paradise of fungus. When it's
Okay, right.
winter time, I do it 2-3 times a week. 3-4 times a week they get soft food like you saw today, and the other days, one day I normally give nothing except seed and red millet, and they get spinach one day, and one day celery.
Okay.
And it depends when on the days that I'm teaching, they get to prepare the soft food and to clean everything. It takes much more time. So on the days I'm teaching, they don't get a food that takes a lot of time to prepare.
Makes sense. And you mentioned that you're working again with Deli Nature on a new menu as a soft food.
Yes.
So can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, the idea is, I mean, everybody that I know, probably you too, you buy any basic soft food, then you add this and this and this, and the idea is really to produce a soft food. I think, in my opinion, there's not one soft food on the market at the moment that is really all in. And then the problem is, I would like to have, what's the name? From in the garden, what's the brown stuff? How do you call it?
Soil.
Soil. I would like to have soil in because I always give soil in, but that needs to be wet, and I would like, and the herbs should not be wet. So we're not sure yet how we'll do that.
What sort of herbs are you thinking will be in the mix?
Oh, oregano, thymian, basil, some garlic, some onions, some
So it'd be a very broad spectrum affair.
a lot of different herbs. And I mean herbs, how shall I say, it's natural and you can't go wrong. And I also give the birds, forgot to say this now, in summertime there's a lot of in the garden, what's the name? It's a funny name. In German it's Löwenzahn. The garden is full of it here. Dandelion. The birds are loving it. It's for free. I can go into the garden and collect it. And for the birds, I'm sure it's very healthy and they don't get diarrhea.
Yeah.
They eat a lot.
Yeah, I've seen it in wild herb mixtures for horses, actually. Nettles and dandelions. Yeah.
And now at the moment, now we have early May, and the fields are full with fresh grass seeds, and I cut them and I give it immediately into the boxes. That's also something they're loving. That's what they're eating in the wild.
Yeah, as you say, anything green.
Anything green and fresh grass seeds. Is this correct? Yeah. From I cut it and give it on the top of the normal seed mixture.
Nice. Just talking about like the early stages of a bird's development, and I mentioned this to you the other day, but just for the benefit of the audience, you say when you observe dry, not smelly droppings, white droppings, you pick that out. It's a big indicator that the bird is going to be a quality bird because it's being fed well. Could you just talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, sometimes I have a nest box A here and nest box B here, and in both nest boxes there are 4 chicks from 2 or 3 different pairs, and in this nest box you have 4 top chicks from different pairs, and this nest box are the siblings from them, and they're not even half as good. And you can be sure that if the droppings, here are the droppings white and compact, and it's dry, and in the box where the birds don't grow too well, they always have full crops and everything, but there's more humidity. The droppings are looking more dark, and they are not compact. They are the key or no? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You know what you mean. And it's much more humidity in there. And even if the parents both look 100% good, I think some birds, when they feed the chicks, they don't grow too well. And I think anything is not perfect in their crop.
So do you think that's a genetic thing then?
I don't think it's a genetic thing, but I have some birds. I know I have some birds that they're not fertile anymore, but they still breed and they still you can use them as foster and always the chicks grow well.
Okay.
Because I think it's a question of the crop.
So not necessarily condition, but just, I suppose, the state of the bird is in.
I'm sure it's nothing genetically, right? I think it's just maybe, but you know, sometimes you make one round with a couple and 4 top chicks, and you go, oh, well, that's good. And next round again, 3 or 4 chicks, and the quality is very disappointing. Or the year after, you put them together again, and the quality is not half than what before.
Probably peak health of the bird.
Probably, yes, and. Well, that's just the way it is. It's not. Nobody knows exactly, but I think the food, the nutrition of the bird is extremely important. How a bird develops, and if a bird did not develop well the first 5-6 weeks of his life, he can do it afterwards a little bit, but he doesn't get the same anymore like before.
Yeah.
This pair has 7 fertile eggs, 5 chicks hatched, and it's blue with blue series, and the blue is gray. And here's a clear body with a split Lutino, green with green, so I expect only green birds. And to be sure that the last 2 eggs are hatching as well, I'm taking now the 2 big boys, the oldest chicks, away. And from here, I take this over here. Okay. So the hen has much, it's easier for the hen to
Younger baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she can look after these ones. So there will be 3 green series, Lutinos, clear bodies, and 2 grays or blues.
And you can trust this hen because she's fed a bigger club.
Well, she made already 5 chicks in the first round. She's a young clear body hen.
Right. Makes sense, yeah.
But still, I need to write it down.
Yeah.
Another sound bite that I've picked up from videos in the past was that you obviously focus a lot on air quality, but once the chicks reach a certain age, you leave the nest box door open slightly for better air circulation. And I think you mentioned that you believe that lessens the degree that French molt can kick in.
I do not believe, I'm 100% sure that French mold is a virus, but it's caused by high temperature, low oxygen, and poor circulation, 100%.
Okay.
And this year so far there's nothing yet, but now May is coming, the temperature is going up. But in general, the birds are super healthy now, and there are a lot of young birds. You saw there are hens with swollen bellies because there's an egg inside. I need to pair them up. And now in springtime towards summer is the time where the birds really want to breed. They realize the light is going up. Many people are changing the time on the lights and every day make 2-3 minutes longer, like in nature. I don't do that. They have the whole year the same rhythm. You saw before at 1:30, I put on the lights, but the birds became silent.
Yeah,
because now 1:30 actually it's siesta time. I think it's fascinating to see that birds they have an inner clock and they know.
It's like your circadian rhythm.
Yeah, they have it, and whenever you disturb them, then yeah, they keep us in the evening. When I have visitors in the evening, light turns off at 9:30 normally.
Yeah.
But when I have visitors, I put on the lights to continue. And but no matter whether the lights are on or not, the birds they all go on the perches. They go away from the floor, and even if the light is on, they keep their rhythm to
They rest. They know it's a rest thing.
start resting. Yes.
Yeah. And that routine is extremely important for the bird too. So Daniel, you mentioned that, you know, in a smaller stud, obviously your birds, you have to bring them into condition when your options are less. So what advice would you give if you did have a really good bird that was nervous in the show cage and you wanted to show him or her? What advice would you give to make it more showable?
Well, it's the attitude of showing. It's in the gene. That's genetic, 100%. So if the father is really a pleasant bird and relaxed and is not stressed by being in the cage, there's a very big chance that the offsprings have the same behavior. And I have some birds. I know they're not super birds, but they don't feel comfortable, and their chicks don't do it either. So I think you need both. But you can make a certain training. If you have a young hen that is nervous and stressed, you can put in an older cock that is, or an older hen, but normally it's better if an older cock that sits easy on the perch and is not stressed. So the young hen sees, okay, he's sitting on the perch, he's surviving, maybe I should do the same. Birds are like all animals, including human beings, learn by adapting what the other ones, the parents, are doing. We learn everything, all the good things we're learning from our parents, and all the bad things, and the birds do the same.
Correct.
And, my daughter sits to here. What's up,
You can confirm. Yeah.
So you're a Philadelphia.
So, so all is not lost, I guess. You just need to invest more time. If the genetics are not there for a natural showbird, you can improve it.
Is it a question?
Yeah, just to confirm.
Well, I have some birds that I tried them different times. I think they would be good enough for best in show, but they're so much stressed. In my younger year, I would try, maybe they do it, but then they never do it. If they're not relaxed at home, they're not relaxed in the show either.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have birds that are super relaxed at home, and on the show they're completely stressed. That's possible, but the other way around, a bird that is relaxed most of the time is normally also relaxed on the show.
Yeah.
And keep the birds that are relaxed, and that also stays somewhere in the genetic back of your birds.
Yeah, makes sense to me. On the return from a show, do you quarantine the birds for some time in case they've picked anything up?
Well, I just make shows that the European show and also the WBO show, I bring the birds Friday evening. Saturday morning is judging, and the afternoon the show goes up, and in the morning, Sunday morning, midday, the show is over. So the birds are maximal 24 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 24 hours, I think. One day more, it's already much more problematically. Normally, if a bird is healthy, I just put it back where he was. I want him to eat and drink immediately. They don't eat and drink too much on the show.
Yeah.
When it's in summer times, I always spray the birds with a sprayer for flowers.
Yeah.
I spray them a little bit before they leave, and they lick and clean the feathers, and so they get water in. And on the show bench, they only eat millet, nothing else. After one day show, you can blow into the seat, and there's no. You see
Husk on the
they
millet.
didn't eat, but when they eat something, they eat only the millet.
Right. Which is another big reason why we should go for
Absolutely.
French millet.
And if a bird come back with diarrhea, of course I clean it under the water, and normally I don't give anything. And if it's after 1-2 days still dirty and wet, then maybe you have to give some medication to help.
Okay.
And this bird, I rather, of course, I would keep him separate.
But you wouldn't quarantine, let's say, the 20, 30, once they look healthy and okay.
No, in my young years we had to do that after Karlsruhe, but nowadays we don't have anymore.
Okay. I was just going to ask, what would be like the top 3 faults you'd avoid when you're pairing up?
In pairing up, I thought in breeding in general. Well, in breeding in general,
Yeah.
all the young breeders, the new breeders, they go to this breeder and buy 3 birds, to this breeder they buy 5 birds, to this breeder they buy 7 birds, and this breeder they buy 1 bird, and they all bring them back together, and it will be a mess. Every stud has its own bacteria, and if the bacteria all come together from different studs, it can end up with big troubles. But that was not your question. Your question is by pairing up. And what's the fault? 80% of my pairs are love pairings, and most of the time they are choosing a partner that is more or less suitable. You've seen that cinnamon gray that is now chasing a cinnamon gray hen.
Yeah.
But they are cousins, and I don't. It's a little bit too close for me. But maybe I put them together. Or when you have a flagged cock and he's going with a flagged hen, that's a main fault. So I would not pair them together.
So doubling up on any fault.
Any fault, no, a long tail, no. You can breed with a long tail, but pair him to a bird that is very short. Or if you have a bird with missing feathers on the wings, don't pair it to a bird with missing feathers anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So don't double up the feathers. And of course, it doesn't make much sense to breed a dominant pied with a recessive pied. A certain combination, just don't do it.
Are pointless if it's
pointless.
a show bird. Yeah.
But if 2 grey greens are going together, grey green to grey green, you get 50% double factor greys, double factor grey greens. Okay, go for it. If the rest is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But just don't double up faults. And I think in many aviaries that I saw, that's what people are exactly doing, double up faults.
Right.
And you make the fault dominant by doing that.
Okay. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So look, I'm not going to keep you any longer. We've had a really nice chat and extremely useful insights there for our club members. We have a show coming up on the 24th of May. It's a Nest Feather and Youngbird show. And we have our open show in Dublin on the 16th of August. So would you do me a favour and wish everybody good luck?
Yeah, good luck to everybody. I'm not really familiar with the bocce scene from Ireland. I just know now you 3 gentlemen and 2-3 more names. I had today an invitation from Ireland. I need to discuss with the family, but I hope to be able to come once to you. I've been once to Ireland about 20 years ago. I have very good family, very good memories from that time, and maybe I can meet you there. And have fun. It's the most important thing. Have fun and have a good time together. I think there's no need to. We all have our jobs, and we have to. There are problems sometimes, so there's no need to have extra problems in your extra time with your hobby. And I think, I don't know how it's in Ireland, but in many clubs they always kind of fighting, this kind of jealousy things going on, and that's, well, maybe it's just human beings, but I lost my
train of thought.
Yeah,
But I know where you're going.
enjoy it, and
Yeah.
thanks for the video. I hope you could learn a little bit something and get a little bit impression. I hope you take. I think you've taken some nice pictures that can be added, and yeah, or come to. There's always a group of Irish people driving all the way from Ireland by car to visit the European show. I hope they're coming again. Big respect. I would say they're coming. These are the guys that make the longest way.
Yeah.
Maybe from the south of Spain.
Yeah.
That's 2,500 kilometers.
Yeah.
Maybe they're further.
They're dedicated to the hobby.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, listen, thanks a million, Daniel. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good.